A very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News on TV1. We're coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. Let's first start off with a look at the stories that made it to your headlines this afternoon.
IMF says automatic fuel pricing mechanism marks a major step towards completing the energy pricing reforms in Sri Lanka. Application filed by Arjuna Aloysius seeking bail postponed by the Court of Appeal. Several roads in Colombo inundated owing to heavy rains. Showers predicted during the evening. 6 suspects arrested with a weapon and Kerala ganja in Grand Pass. Malaysian police seize cash and luxury goods in Najib-linked raids.
The International Monetary Fund, or the IMF, says the automatic fuel pricing mechanism marks a major step towards completing the energy pricing reforms that are underway in Sri Lanka and minimize the fiscal risks. The IMF board is scheduled to discuss Sri Lanka's completion of its 4th review on the 1st of June. The IMF says if implemented properly, the formula-based pricing would eliminate fuel subsidies that benefit the rich rather than the poor. So in one of your headline-making local news, the Court of Appeal has decided to take up again the application filed by the beneficial owners of Perpetual Treasuries Limited, Arjuna Aloysius, seeking bail on the 25th of May for further consideration.
The petition filed with the Court of Appeal was taken up today in the presence of President of the Court of Appeal, Justice P. Padman Surasena and Justice Arjuna Obesekara. The Court of Appeal issued the order taking into consideration the request made by the petitioner's attorney for the petition to be taken up by the judges who took the petition into consideration initially. The applications made by Arjuna Aloysius's attorney to the 4th Magistrates Court and the Colombo High Court seeking bail after he was arrested by the CID on the 4th of February over the central bank treasury bond scam were rejected.
Former parliamentarian Anuruddha Polgampola, who was arrested for his involvement in the financial fraud over the Northern Expressway, was released on bail today. He was produced before Kilinochchi Magistrate A.A. Anandaraja today.
The magistrate ordered Polgampola to place a surety bail of 500,000 rupees and barred him from travelling overseas. The magistrate ordered him to hand over his passport to court and also ordered for his immediate arrest if he violates any of the bail conditions.
Indian Army Chief of Staff General Bipin Rawat, during his meeting with President Maithripala Sirisena today, said strengthening the intelligence service of both India and Sri Lanka will be of paramount importance for the nation and the region.
Indian Army Chief of Staff General Bipin Rawat hopes the Sri Lankan government would support this cause. The meeting with the President took place at the President's official residence. The Indian Army Chief of Staff General Bipin Rawat had noted it is important to train the intelligence service and exchange new technology between both nations. The President had pointed out that Sri Lanka is impacted by the illegal drug trade and requested India's support to eradicate it.
The weather advisory for today, the Met Department says that showers or thunder showers will occur over most provinces of the island, particularly after 2 p.m. It adds that heavy falls, about 100 millimeters, can be expected at some places, particularly in the central, Sabaragamuwa, Uva, western, northwestern provinces and in the Ampara, Batiklo, Galle and Mathura districts.
The Disaster Management Centre announced the water levels of several reservoirs have risen gradually following heavy rains. Assistant Director of the DMC, Pradeep Kodipilli, said if rains continue today as well, those living in risk-prone areas must be vigilant.
Still, the spill gate of Dadurwe open at the moment, and people were advised since yesterday morning at downstreams area. And there are no any other incidents been recorded so far, but a lot of rain been pouring over many areas of Sri Lanka. So people are advised to be very vigilant, especially who are living in landslide risk areas and people who are living with beside the rivers as well as the other water sources related areas. So still Disaster Management Centre is coping with all the technical agencies to get all the information and provide to the vulnerable communities. And there are no any landslide warning being issued so far, but we are and technical agencies and DMCs continuously monitoring the ground level situations, and Tri Forces and police been standby for all upcoming search and rescue missions if any disaster conditions occur in Sri Lanka.
A media briefing was held in Colombo to elaborate on the project that aims to construct 500 rural bridges.
2 construction firms from the Netherlands and England have come forward to support this project. The Memorandum of Understanding for the construction of the 500 bridges was signed between both sides yesterday.
This program was initiated to solve the transportation issue existing in the rural areas within the next 2 years. We have discussed this with the President, Prime Minister and the Subject Minister. The Cabinet paper was tabled 2 months ago. The Department of External Resources is supporting this as well. Today, we signed the agreements. Most of the local government bodies want to depend on the central government. However, this trend of local government bodies depending on the central government is fading away globally. Those institutions have to become independent in financial management as well. They operate as companies. Local government bodies at some possess valuable land. They can construct buildings and earn a revenue by leasing them. Rather than adopting such measures, they are trying to take everything from the central government and engage in governance. We hope to bring forward amendments to strengthen the local loans and development funds as a bank. In addition, we request the government to further strengthen that fund and increase the loans for the local government bodies, and therefore they can be more independent.
A book on discipline and government prepared for the training program for local government members was handed over to the minister at the event.
16 parliamentarians who left the Sri Lanka Freedom Party recently met with the leader of the Communist Party, Gunasekara.
Attention was drawn towards a program to join other parties and engage in future political activities. Lakshmanyapa Abe Gunawarthana, T.B. Ekanayaka, Susil Premajayanta, Dilan Pereira, Chandima Veera Kodi and Thilanga Sumatipala attended the meeting. We will meet leaders of the Lanka Samasamaja Party, Mahajana Party, Mahajana Eksat Peramuna, Vimal Veeravansa's party, Vasudeva Nanayakkara's party, Tamil National Alliance, PV Thuru Hello Rumea and CWC, like how we met with the Communist Party leader today. The program will focus on how to bring these parties together and establish an alternative political program and on how to establish power in the future and govern the country. Podujana Peramuna comprised of several parties. Vasudeva Nanayakkara, who is involved with the Podujana Peramuna, also contested at the elections. So there is no difference. We will hold discussions with all parties.
6 suspects were arrested for the possession of Kerala cannabis and a weapon in Sedavatama with the Grand Pass.
Police said the raid was carried out by officials of the Organised Crimes Prevention Division based on a tip-off. Police seized 6 live ammunition bullets, 2 kilograms and 50 grams of Kerala cannabis and a weapon. The suspects will be produced before the Halfsdorf's No. 2 Magistrate Court today.
All the news we've got for you this afternoon. To follow details of these stories and more, you can log on to our website www.newsfirst.lk. I'm Charlotte Benedict for the News First. Latest news update will come your way at 1:55. Good day.